Yo, guys, what's up? Damnation-n-Hellfire here, and we're here for another episode of Battle Pirates Crow's Nest No Quarter. And Ross is going to be running the show today, so take it away, Ross.
Hooray!
Good evening, everyone. Well, tonight we have let's see the lineup tonight. We have Damnation, of course. We have Caleb. Caleb, say hello.
Hello, everybody.
All right. We have RB tonight.
Howdy, everyone.
We have Toxic,
G'day, how we going?
and we have Lad.
Hey, do you know what? I noticed something. You said my real name instead of everybody else's real name. That's kind of nasty, Ross.
I'm sorry.
Well, in his defense, I do it all the time too, so he's just following my lead.
I won't follow him.
All right.
All right, now that y'all are
and
done
Lad.
complaining, and Lynn, hey, welcome everybody. Great to be here. I'm joining you from sunny Florida today. Wahoo!
Oh, man, that's got to be nice in Florida.
Yeah, we've been in the meandering our way about the southern United States for the past 2 weeks, but headed back north. Got to go be to work on Monday.
Very nice. I'm in Missouri right now, and it's 38 degrees. So
yeah, my dashboard says that it's 76, and it was just the sun just went down.
Whew, it's cold. So how's everybody doing in the raid here?
I'm doing good. I'm about 300 million points.
And what targets are you doing?
I'm doing the S Buccaneer target. I'm a little. I mean, I don't know, half irritated, half not, because I thought I was done Friday night, and then I woke up this morning to a message. Hey, they just added a bunch of tokens in, and I looked and I'm like, oh, I have to earn just as many points as what I had already earned now. Congratulations, go me.
I totally agree. I mean, myself.
I'm glad to have the tokens, so I shouldn't complain that much. I wish I had known ahead of time that they were coming, because some of my generic tokens that I used to build stuff, like I was using some of my generic tokens to work on Inferno Dragons and shit. So had I known the Inferno Dragon specific tokens were coming, I could have spent those tokens on something else. So it just would have been nice to know ahead of time, that's all.
Right.
But yeah, I'm finding the raid to be really easy.
Yeah, myself, I'm in the same situation. I'm very happy for the tokens, in all honesty, but the only downfall was as I blew some of the other tokens on the Inferno Dragon, and I could have used those on other things or planned better, but that's on me. So that's okay. But I was very glad to see them there. It would have been nice to have them earlier, because I did take off and I came down here to go fishing, and so I've been hitting targets from my phone and from the laptop here and there. So I'm in the same boat. So I'm slowly still going. How's everybody else doing?
Well, since no one said anything. Well, you can go. You go first. You go first, Lad.
Yeah, I'm using my cell phone as a hotspot and hitting from the laptop. Around 245 million points, give or take. I was able to take advantage of the extra million per target before noon Pacific yesterday, so I ran up a bunch of those. I'm using the Buccaneer fleet on auto. I'm bouncing back and forth. I'll do a set. It'll cost me 1 coin. Then the next set will cost me 2 coins, and the next set will cost me 1. So I'm getting about 10 million points for 3 coins out of the box. Use the early mispricing on the Hydra tokens to get enough Hydra tokens to finish up my Hydras enough to use them. And I would those are costing me about 3 coins per Hydra campaign target.
Well, that's
But
pretty.
there's some I won't call it fun, but it's actually not a horrendous grind trying to do the Hydra targets because you're trying to learn a new target. I'd be kind of pissed if that was the only way I had to do it because they're taking 20 to 30 minutes a piece.
Oh,
But I can because you have to back out and recharge your armors. I only have one each of the charged armors on the Hydras, so the charge dies pretty quick. But the bucks, like I said, I just sort of cut the bucks loose, and then I go into the Hydra target, and I meander my way around the Hydra target. And when it's time to back out to recharge my armor, the bucks are about done autoing the other side, and they just get them going again. So it's worked
I
out
just want to throw a
fairly
little
well.
pro tip out there too for people who are doing the bucks. When it comes to repair time, really all you have to do is repair your flagship. As long as the other ones, and just leave the other ones at 75%, you can save a whole lot of coin that way over time.
Oh yeah. That's the when I talk about it being 1 or 2 coins, I'm just coining the boon. I don't get any. I let the boon do all the healing on the other 4, and on the Hydras, my Blood Hydra has the Mercy CIC on it, so it works just like the boon does, and I only coin the Blood Hydra, and I let it do all the healing of the 4 individual Hydras.
Yeah, I mean, just with that being the only hull that you heal, it actually saves you probably like 2 coins per target doing it that way.
Well, it's more than that. It's 3 or 4 coins a target. Well, I shouldn't say it because it. There's been a couple times where my Buccaneers have been stuck on an auto where they end up dying because they don't do what they're supposed to do and they just sit there and don't know they're getting pummeled. You can even take that fleet, coin a couple of coin health onto the boon, and then just zombie the other 4, and then take them into a target and let the boon heal them up to 75% health because that's as far as it'll go, and then you come back in and drop 1 extra coin on the boon, and now you're back in business. And instead of it being an 11 coin fleet, you fixed them for 3 coins, and you're back to playing the game.
But one thing there, if you do that and your normal bucks or I don't know about the Hydras, but if one of your bucks dies and it's fully dead, you got to put a little bit of health on it before you throw it back into a target.
You've got to zombie it. I take it. I don't do any map repairs at all. But you're at your I'm only doing campaign targets, so my fleet is literally a half a second from my base. I take it in and I do all the repair in the dock, and I'm very careful to only have the coin repair apply to the flagship, and the other ones, like I say, you only need. I was zombieing them with 5 seconds health.
Yeah. No, I was just making sure that everybody knew that it does not repair a dead Buccaneer, or you need to have a speaker health on it.
If you stop your use the up arrow and then the down arrow and stop all 5 ships before they start going at the beginning of the campaign targets, they're out of range of everything, so you can actually repair them right there at the beginning. You don't even have to try to find a salvage to manipulate. You can do all right there at the beginning of the campaign target, then leave to recharge your charged armors, because when you entered the first time, you didn't have any charge because you only had 5 seconds health. Leave, and then come right back in, and you're back in business. So for those of you looking to build a Hydra fleet, your Blood Hydra needs the Mercy CIC, so it'll work like the Boon and the Buccaneers for healing the other part of your fleet.
all right. So RB, how are you doing today?
I'm doing okay. I'm doing just the S Hydra targets. I've been really enjoying them. Trying to work out the best way to do them. So it's been a bit of a challenge instead of just autoing with bucks, because I find that incredibly boring and no skill.
Okay. Okay. Boy, I think I'm ending up being the only one doing the 80s so far. Cruising. How about what are you? What targets are you hitting?
I'm hitting the Buccaneer TLC.
Gee, yeah. Okay, then I guess
You are the only one that hitting map targets.
Ross is short for anybody else hitting the 80s has come to naught.
Yeah, I'm hitting the 80s, man. It's been a grind. It's been an interesting show. The damage has gone, for me, it's been really strange. In all honesty, I refit. I took the specials off for the 80s last time. I was going with the combo, but now I took that off and went all layered panels for the ballistic, and I went. That was going great Friday. It brought it back down to instant repair because I put the layered panels on, and then on Sunday, but this I was used to running with the Highlander in the last raid. I started off, I couldn't use the Highlander in the targets. However, they changed that midway through already, so I can use the Highlander. But I wanted to throw in something interesting on there. Now, making a video doesn't help because you can't judge by anything projectiles you see or you do not see, but I can clearly say and gladly will demonstrate to anyone in any target, any 80 target, that the Highlander does nothing. I'm not quite sure how that could be. It's got a 50%, I thought 50% radiation deflection, and it's not decreasing my repair time.
It's the reload it gives.
Okay, well, it's not helping me a bit, not at all. So that seems strange. Yeah, so the Highlander definitely did work last event and is definitely not working this event. And but they did allow you to use it. You can try it if you see other things work out for you. I hope they do, because I've hit every 80 target comparatively, actually more than 5 times, and I know that for they don't work for me. So good luck.
Yeah, and just to reiterate, it's not just reload that the Highlander gives. It also does give the 50% radioactive defense. So yeah, you should definitely be seeing some kind of difference in there.
Yeah, actually 50%.
Well, what is your radioactive defense without it? Because if you're running, if you've got 85, 90%, and then if you have siege battery, you're going to be if you're at 90%, you have siege battery, you're going to be at 95% radioactive defense anyways. You're at a point of diminishing returns where you're only saving another 2.5%.
But
radioactive defense.
However, once you start to get up that high, and you can double check it in like Huggies or something if you don't believe me. Once you start to get up that high, that 1% extra becomes like a huge number more damage that you can take. So even though it is diminishing returns and you're not getting that full 50%, when you go from like 95 to 96, that number increases significantly as far as amount of damage you take.
Well, I'm just, as far as the amount of repair that you're going to have to do, if you're already stopping almost all of the damage anyways, I don't know if you're going to have a what your return's going to be on your repair. Now, the fact that your time to kill should go way down ought to make the target better for you. I just wonder if it's working at all, because even if the resistances didn't do anything, you're cutting your time to kill way down because, well, it ought to anyways.
Right.
Are you, well, what weapon are you using? A radioactive weapon?
Yeah, I'm using the buck. I mean, let's see.
Is-
Yeah, but he's not running it for the reload. He's running.
I'm not running for the reload. I'm only running it actually for the defense. And
I would,
but all I'm
I
saying
was-
is, it was drastic. I hit the 80s the last two events with this same exact setup, with the lead Highlander, and with that, and I tried it with and without, and boy, we're not talking about hours of repair or anything, but we're talking minutes. It was drastic on whether I could instant repair or whether I could not on the map. And this time it's just not having an effect. But the targets are the
I have
same,
3
right?
words for you: working as intended.
Yeah.
Well,
sadly, that may be they may have decided that they didn't like people using the Highlander as a flag, and it just turned everything off without telling anybody.
Well, but see, the thing is, though, originally you couldn't even take it in the targets. So if that's what they did, why even make it so you could take it in the targets now?
Allegedly, supposedly, that wasn't for the Highlander. That was so that you could flag your fleet with something like a gunboat and still be able to take it in.
No, it was for the
I think-
Highlander in this specific raid.
I think it was the Highlander because it's actually hull specific. It meets the class, and
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, I started my raid on I always got to start late because of work and whatnot, unless I have a day off. But I started late on Friday, and I was watching my rugby and I was just autoing 80s, just like you, Ross. I don't feel singled out here.
oh, good.
There you go. You finally found somebody to back you up, Ross.
Good.
I'm your Huckleberry.
All right.
And I was doing a full Buccaneer fleet, and I was autoing 80s, and I was just indiscriminately clicking on anything that had the 80 mark on it. So I wasn't going 81, 83, 85, and so on and so on. It was just clicking, and I was playing for a good 2 hours before I had to throw 2 coins to repair on it. And now I can play maybe an hour before I have to throw a 2-coin repair on it. So the damage has definitely gone up. I don't know whether that's what you saw on when you couldn't use, or when your Highlander didn't help you anymore. I don't know whether that's it or whether they've just upped the damage. But yeah, it's way up there now. It's a lot more than it was on Friday night for me, which would have been Thursday night or Thursday for you guys, or Friday morning. And I've just tried a what am I trying? A demo squad, and now it's maybe a little bit higher than it was on Friday, but it's gone down significantly. So if you throw a demo squad on the Buck fleet, I mean, I've got the Buccaneers Boon and $4. It's back down to close to 2 hours to play. I mean, an hour and a bit I've been doing now, and it's and I've just repaired, so it's not quite as good, but it's almost as good as what it was on Friday night for me when I first started. But still, it's you got to be prepared to spend a little bit. If you can get a good price, you got to be prepared to spend a little bit of money. It's just a shame that it's always it's inconsistent, and if something does change, it's not communicated. That's more that irks me more than what the actual damage does. I mean, unless it's over the top, and I don't think it is, because I'm first time ever I'm over 300 million points. So, and that's just from talking and clicking buttons while I talk. So I've never seen a target. I've not don't even know what they look like. Don't care. I just click the button, get my points, and that's it. And talk some. Yeah.
That's the good thing about it. I mean, that's what I like to do. I'm just not a PvE fan. Yeah, I understand it's part of the game and everything, but I like to be able to just click and auto these targets and talk in comms if I want to talk in comms, do other things in the game. or just do other things in general. So, and I do believe that the damage is still at an acceptable rate for me. I mean, I'm not getting the coin return for the point that you all are getting doing the campaign, for the simple fact that I do not have the boon lead. But I made that choice myself. I'm not upset about it or anything. I mean, so the fleet I have is working really well. I mean, I'm just at about, I think 280 million or whatever. I have everything I need, and it's going pretty well. And they're, all in all, the raids got acceptable damage for me. I mean, it really does. I'm okay with tossing a coin here or there, but I'm not okay with a slaughter. And this raid's okay, and so I'm pretty happy about that. So it's working out.
Yeah, definitely. So it's not a super expensive ride. I think it's the way it should be. If you do A sets, then your top fleet should be able to order that A set for a decent amount of coin and damage. If you do the higher end targets, then yeah, you're at a premium because you get the more points, you do less targets, less seat time, so you got to pay a little bit more, and that's the right ratio, I think, for a raid. Where if you want to get it done quickly and it costs you a little bit more, you can do that, or you can just click away and it takes you a little bit longer or a lot longer or whatnot, but you still get there. And for getting 300 million points is I think is really very good. And that they did throw a few goodies in at the end, and good on them for doing that, because a lot of people haven't concentrated on the dragons, thinking not you got the 115 around, we've got plenty of time, we can see what happening, what people's builds are and whatnot, and then we'll go from there. But it when they announced the 115 gone, then people going, oh, we don't have anything built now. I think even Kixeye didn't think that was that many people that haven't got the dragons built. And they listened and threw us a bone, and that's, I reckon that's good.
No,
yeah, I'd agree with that. I'm glad that they've kept them around for a bit longer and just reduce the points. I think that's a much better way of doing it than just taking them off completely. So I'm pretty happy to see that also.
Something I want to touch on real quick, and then we can go on to whatever Ross wants to do next. What do you guys think as far as it was only people that were hitting the top end targets that got that bonus of 1 million points, and people who were hitting the lower end targets didn't get anything?
Yeah, I think that sucks, because I didn't get, I don't hit a single campaign. I don't have the fleet for it. So, but I was affected with this lag issues as just as much as, and all the same issues as everyone else. But I didn't get awarded any type of bonus for it. That seems strange, but I so that part, yeah, I don't understand it.
Yeah, for me, being in Australia and never getting to do the start of the raid anyway, it doesn't really bother me. I never got it before, so it doesn't really bother me that I didn't get it now. Yeah.
Well, I think if they're going to do something to address, to say, sorry, we understand the lag's really bad, it's got to be done across the board. It's,
well,
doesn't make sense that only the people that complain the loudest get something for it.
Yeah, but on the other end, not being a super pro Kixeye, but if you haven't played when that happened, why should you get compensated? You know what I mean?
Because they have in the past.
Yeah, they have.
You could go in and hit one target for 10 points, and you get something spectacular. It's not it's not an unreasonable thing. It's happened plenty of times in the past.
Yeah, that could, but in the end, I wasn't there, so I don't expect to get a bonus for something that they haven't done. So yeah, but that's just me.
That's
you have to
right,
remember,
un-Australian.
You have to remember that Well, each of us only has a gripe if we actually tried to play during the time when they had the excessive lag. There was really no way for Kicks to tell who those people were or weren't based on their the accumulated portion that they had before the fix, because there were a number of people who tried to play and literally couldn't either, couldn't load the target at all. So they may have had 0 points and had a legitimate beef because they tried to load a target. I wish they'd have come up with a way, maybe give the A and B sets, maybe the A set, if you did a whole A set, you got an extra million, and then in the B set, whatever the right number would be, I don't know what it would be. But the truth of the matter is they gave a bunch of people extra, and it really didn't hurt anybody if you didn't get it, unless, of course, you were one of those people who tried to play and couldn't. Or worse, tried to play and lost a fleet because of the lag.
Right.
I'm glad that they recognized that there were people who were trying to play and were kept from doing so by the performance issues. And I really feel kind of like, well, they're most worried about the players who are doing doing the S sets, because those are the players that are most likely to be coiners, and they're trying to keep the coiners happy. And it's not fair, but it's certainly not the first time that we've seen them do stuff that was aimed towards keeping their paying customers happy.
My personal opinion, they should have just awarded a couple million points to everybody across the board, and then nobody would have bitched, and everybody would have got something.
I agree.
Yeah, Caleb or Cruiser, what do you think about this? I mean, because you got affected, I guess.
No, I didn't get much affected, to be honest. I don't even think I got the points off of them.
Right. Well, because you were probably already had the points you've accumulated, the first day or so. I mean,
geez, I must have upset someone. I just got booted. Even my internet cut out.
Yeah, we didn't like you. You're toxic.
Yeah.
I actually I choose to go to World One, Alpha, for the glitches and for the errors. It's I actually do choose it. It's a personal choice, so I take the good with the bad. I know that the lag's going to be horrible. I just do not throw on a grease monkey crew and head out to sea and without trying anything like many people do. But so I check out I test the waters to see what's going on, and I hit as many different targets as I can in that opening hour, because I'll just put it straight out there. I like the magic that happens in the first hour, and that's how I do. So sometimes it's beneficial.
Well, and I think you brought up a good point too, that for a lot of people who do go to alpha in an attempt to quote unquote game the system or whatever, if that's your intent, you got to be willing to take the good with the bad,
Right.
And that's what there's so many people in this game who only want the good and don't ever want to take the bad, and it's like that's part of the package deal, man. If you're trying to manipulate the system and make their errors work to your favor, you got to be willing to accept when their errors have the exact opposite desired effect too.
No, right. And matter of fact, it's 50-50. It's not you don't just win out. You take the bad. So it's a personal choice. And truly, it seems like a couple hours into it, they have things straightened out. So, and that's good for those people that don't want to mess around. They just don't want to deal with the game errors and those things. Avoid Alpha World.
I didn't think you moved from Alpha World, Ross.
I do at times.
Or you could just have a fully tested product ready to go that doesn't have any problems.
That's never going to happen because it's so many servers.
So,
Well, I mean, the major problem with that is there's really no way to like it also, when you go from a test environment to a live environment, so much different shit happens that there's really no way you can always guarantee and make sure your product's going to run the same way on live that it did on test. It's impossible.
Yeah.
oh,
You and
come
your
on,
crazy
I've
ideas,
been- Controversial.
Well, you know, if
You
you're
know-
going to go to alpha for to try to exploit the errors, it's a lot like counting cards in blackjack. If you know the deck is favorable to you, you go out there and you gamble a lot of money, and you play a lot of hands. And if the deck is favorable to the house, you kind of pull your horns back and only play one hand for the table minimum. So you can go out there, and then if you know that the errors are coming the player's way, start running multiple fleets and getting all the points you can and taking advantage of it. And if the lag is bad and the errors are going towards kick size way, well, you could go play another game or watch some TV or something until they fix it. I tend to be somebody who ends up in alpha if I know I'm going to be able to play that first hour of the raid for the same reason that Ross does. And that's a strategy that I use. If when the lag cranked up there, I just kind of, okay, I don't need to play right now, and I went and did something else.
Exactly. And it's a good tactic but some people just can't do it. You have to be calm. You have to just be calm about it because I still see, it's just amazes to me. The first day I always see in comms, somebody say, I'm quitting. I quit. I quit. You know what? You got to be kidding me. We know how the raids go, and there's no magic here. This is it. And if you're gonna quit on this raid, boy,
Wait until next.
You might. I mean, I hate to say this to anybody, but maybe you should step off. And if this is the raid that's pushing you over, this game isn't for you. But I like this raid, and I'm concerned about the prizes. Does everybody want to move on to topics, or?
Yeah, I think we beat this horse to death pretty much.
Let's go to Let's go to the prizes. How about we could just go right off to this Howie turret, the new howitzer.
Well, hey, I got my missile cruisers done just in time for them to be obsolete. Yay!
There you
Great
go.
work, man. Great work.
Great work. Yeah. They're pretty amazing. My personal opinion. What's everybody else's opinion?
I like them. I don't like yours though. I like mine.
Oh, yeah.
This is the reason I quit coining spending even a single coin on Conqueror fleets, is because you're not going to get the return on them. I mean, the last time I spent coin on a Conqueror fleet was way back in the very first Conqueror fleet, the Revenges, because I believed them when they said they'd be good for 6 months. And they didn't last 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And we haven't had a fleet last 6 weeks yet. And sure, you can still for a year you could take them into second tier bases, and beat Club Baby Seals for your alliance points, but you were not cracking top end bases with them. And now anybody, well, I was going to use a bad word there. Let me change this. Anybody who's playing and paying attention will have the executioners in their base and have one of them done by the end of the week. And from what I've seen so far, it only takes one to stop everybody.
They're pretty amazing.
Not executioner, the new Howie.
We knew.
Misspoke. That was the last Wonder Turret.
Yeah. I have to say that I haven't even had enough courage to hit a base with them in there yet. I just haven't. I have one in, and then I tested it with cruising, and the testing was just, you got to be kidding me. I was like, whatever. And so, and I'm not gonna, and cruising's fleet's no slouch. I'm telling you. And so we were just testing the turret, and wow. So that's going to end base hitting to the top end bases. Truly, it's going to end it for, I think. I don't see. I don't know any hull that can withstand that. Is there a hull that can, that I'm missing?
Not that I'm aware of, but let me ask you this: what do you think about how effective do you think the same strategy of taking out that Howie that people are using to take out the executioners with the high splash stuff?
Totally effective.
I guess it just really depends on how people's bases are set up, right? And whether they have something you can splash off of into the Howie or not.
Right. Yeah, and then again, you're fighting against then people that are driving or whatever, that they kill your sloths, because that high splash fleet isn't a speed demon in all, really. So you can't. So that plays in effect. So the high.
I would like to interject real quick. Vlad said about, that Revenge's haven't seen 6 months of use. I tell you what, in Bounty, there were bases that those Revenges would have gotten into. So technically, your Revenges would have seen 1.5 years of use at that point.
Yeah. We all know that Vlad doesn't participate in Bounty on principle, so let's just keep our feet moving. And by the way, here's the answer to your question, Ross. The fleet that defeats the new Howie, the next fleet.
Right.
They will release the next big thing, and the escalation will go on.
Well, and it has to go to such a high level, to have a deflection so high that it's going to boost that swing. And I guess I'm speaking just out of, this is my opinion, and it may just opinion. I think that it's just caused that swing, that huge swing that they just said they were trying to avoid. I mean, because it's like you're going to need a 1.5 million deflection, right, on a hull. Well, that's huge, and so that pretty much negates everything else that's before that. And
yeah, I mean, they've been saying that this is all, that's not going to get balanced overnight. This is all part of a puzzle for the big picture. But I'll be honest, the way things are going right now, I'm certainly not seeing the big picture. Because, when you come out with every new turret you come out with kills all the PvP holes that came out just previous to it, I don't see how it's ever going to get balanced at that point.
Right. I mean, the stop alls is where it gets me, exactly what you just said. And when they bring out something that's very good, I mean, really good, but it has a weakness, okay. But you know what I mean? When you bring out something that it's just that changes the whole game right there, that you're creating the swing. So I'm along for the ride. I always have been. I love the game. I see it. And just be aware, I think everybody is aware. We're not new players, in all honesty. So I'm looking forward to seeing what's coming next. I'm a little concerned about what to do on working with my base guard. I'm a base person. I enjoy keeping my base up to par. This is going to give me some time where I won't get hit as much to make the changes to improve. And so that I'm not looking forward to. And I won't really know on what to
pull your guards, scrap all your turrets except for 2 Howies, and you'll be good.
I'll hold. Hey.
I know, it's crazy.
And yeah, I guess a sub fleet.
Let me voice my unpopular opinion, and then you can get your pitchforks and torches out and string me up on the castle walls. But I think we need to wait until we got a few more hulls, tier 7 Conqueror hulls, and maybe a special or whatnot that will swing it back. At the moment, it's swinging really fast. I know, and I agree with that. But I think their picture in that is, in a couple of months, when they had a chance to build a few more or give us a few more fleets and specials or whatnot, it will stop swinging so fast, and it'll slow down, and then whatever doesn't work today, whatever fleet like the Onslaughts or the Storm Cruisers, they may work in 3 months' time, because you can't have a base that is good against everything. So eventually it's going to level out, and there's going to be some fleets around that where you can prep something and come in with another fleet and kill the base. That's what I'm thinking. I know that not many people think that way, but that's what I'm giving them the chance, because I'm really happy with the game right now.
I mean, I guess the one thing I would say, though, is, and that's fine for somebody such as yourself who's just now starting to get back into a little bit of base hitting here and there, to have that long haul picture view of it. But what about people like Ross, whose entire game is going out and hitting bases in the now of the game? They're pretty much, they're kind of boned for the next 6 months until shit gets straightened out.
I realize that's what I said, my unpopular opinion, but that's just how I see it. That's how I see it. That's how when Riken made that announcement that right at the start, he made that announcement saying that there's going to be a lot of pain, and I guess that's what he meant by it. So we can only, I mean, he's done pretty well so far, and I don't think that he's going to let it slide just on that. I think there's something that we have to going to go through, and I guess that would be the biggest of the negatives so far. And I'm sure they've got something worked out, because they wouldn't go through all this trouble making everyone, I mean, I don't know, but making everyone happy and then doing this. There is something that wasn't maybe not tested right, that it maybe swung a little bit too hard, or maybe there is something coming that we don't know about in the TLC or in the bounty or God knows what. We don't know. We just have to sort of see and wait. That's all I'm saying. Now, kill me quick.
I was going to say, is there anybody else in this hangout that agrees with Toxic? Well,
nobody likes me. Everybody hates me. Think I'll go and eat worms.
Well, see, I was actually thinking the big thing's going to be in 2 weeks' time when bounty happens, because if we're doing the copied bases again and everyone's got 2 Howies in it, it's going to be a fairly interesting thing to watch.
Well, I mean, we know not everybody will have 2 Howies, because not everybody had 2 Executioners. So we know there's going to be plenty of those bases out there that aren't going to have them. You're just going to, have to go through and pick and choose your battles.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're actually in the time frame we'll be the same boat as last bounty. I mean, in all honesty, same boat to the day. Same situation as the Executioner 2. You're going to see them. You're going to see them in those 100 level bases and the 115s, and for sure, So, but people weren't hitting those, in all honesty. I mean, we were trying them. We were testing ourselves out and testing our fleets out, and that was great. I loved it. So, but I wasn't hitting those as a primary point source. I was actually, I was hitting the 90s and below for the point source.
They're not all going to be if they have the 2 cannons in there, they're not going to be at full power. Like the missiles weren't the last bounty, because I was hitting the high levels with my onslaughts, taking little damage from the missiles because they weren't all buffed up like they are in your bases right now.
That's a good point.
I got to tell you that 40% of the players, or 40% of the bases 90 and down don't totally understand the base setup concept yet, even. And,
now, is that a number that you can back up, or is that just an arbitrary number that you pulled out of your?
That's a guess. I mean, and I guess it's a
37% of statistics are made up on the spot.
Right there. There. Exactly.
With 100% accuracy.
Hey, perfect. But I'm telling, okay, so a large amount, we're just crap. I mean, and we're not talking about the square ones. You know, I mean the ones that maybe they tried, maybe they did. They had walls and they had things, but you got to be kidding. You can reach the OP. So I don't know. I'm not. I'm not concerned.
I would just like to say, be careful using that word crap because remember what happened to GD Aerospecs when he said that all the players didn't know how to build Conqueror hulls and they were crap, and look what happened to him.
Yeah, Ross,
so
be careful
today, Mike.
Watch your wording there when you're talking about other players' stuff, there, Mister.
Okay. Well.
All right, carry on.
Well, Ross being a prolific base hitter, he would have a fair idea. You know what I mean? Have a better idea than what I would. So I tend to sort of believe what Ross says.
Well, I was just saying you could one ship them. You know what I mean? You're taking one ship, and man, you shouldn't really be able to one ship bases. A 90, I don't. In my opinion, a good level 90 base, one ship should not kill. But
I'd agree with that.
I agree with that, but I'm not going to say they're crap.
Well, you don't need to. Ross already did.
True that.
Yeah.
Remember, that was Ross Wood at Facebook.
Look for the one with the hat.
Yeah, clean hat.
Why do you wear a hat inside your house, Ross? It's kind of annoying.
He's being thoughtful. He's being thoughtful and not blinding us all.
This is actually my hairstyle. It's not. It's not only a hat. This is a hairstyle.
It's a lifestyle.
Well, yeah.
So, what else did we want to go over, Ross?
Okay. How about what is everybody going to use? What are these tools for that we're winning right now? Tide Seeker 4. My question of the day. What is everyone going to do with a proto Tide Seeker?
Look at it sit in my dock.
Say thank you.
But in all honesty, what is this for? Are you planning on using it on just assisting your fleet, or you're going to build a fleet of them?
Well, I'm going to take the one that Kix gives me, and I'm going to try it out in the fleet. If it doesn't work, I'll
scrap it.
Yeah, I'll put it back. I don't. Depends if it's got good parts, you can scrap it for. You know, why not? Put it on other hulls that work. But I'm not going to build any. There's no time for me to build any of them.
Okay. No, that's my question. Because they're such a fast build. I mean, they're like a day with a gun, you know, or less. So you can really
10 hours for the hull with an officer, I think, and like 5 for the weapon.
Right. I mean, so that's just great. In all honesty, I kicked out 4 of them just in case, you know, they're worth something. I just don't know what they're going to be for. I mean.
Well, basically, like their sole intent and purpose is to either build a fleet of them or use them to buff your hunter fleets so you can go and gather your uranium from the Scourge targets faster. That's their sole intent and purpose. They're not like it's not like we're getting the next skirmish raid hull, you know, like 6 months early or anything. That's their sole intent and purpose. And I mean, for somebody like me, that's not even where I get my uranium. I go hit dubs when I want uranium. So, you know, for somebody like me, they don't hold a whole lot of purpose.
Yeah,
right.
I'd rather build the
Buccaneer.
What have we got the tokens for? Oh, the
dragons.
No, not the dragons. The other one, the generalist.
The chameleon.
The chameleons. I'd rather build them and send them off to the expedition targets than what I would build those Tide Seekers for. Plus, you got the tokens for it, so you might as well try it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I wouldn't spend not right now anyway. See how they go. If people have awesome success with them, I may change my mind. I've been wrong once before, so
Just once.
yeah, just once.
A lot.
Once a lot, yes.
Okay,
No,
so
it's 1993.
At 4 o'clock on a
That's
Friday
right.
afternoon.
I remember it well.
Now Ross is all distracted now because his base.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Ross.
no, I'm not. I'm just trying to figure out. So what I'm going to do with these? I'm fine. I actually have a crappy MK fleet, hunter fleet. It's a fleet of 3, so I could boost that up a little bit from where it's at now. But I don't use it, and I don't really want to use it. I hit the DUBs. I guess if they were ever to change, I might need a backup. But
Now, I want something that might be interesting to see is in the TLCs that we have to do that use, you have to use hunters in. It might be interesting to see how that new hull would perform in those TLCs.
and that's where I'm lacking, and I truly am lacking in that area because my MK fleet is just enough to make it through, but it's a heavy on the coin situation or the repair for me to use it. I do, it gets me through, but that's all it does. And so I possibly, I guess, 2 of those would add to that. And
Yeah, see,
Just real quick, I want to address chat here. Royal Shellback. Yes, they are releasing the new raid fleet in the May raid. That's what we were just saying. This hull has nothing to do with raids whatsoever. So, okay, carry on.
right. So, and matter of fact, why don't we touch on the next raid cycle is assault, correct?
Yeah, actually, that'll be April, right? Yeah, April is when that should be coming out because next month is the last cycle of this raid.
Yep.
yeah, I hope that they keep on track with what they've done this raid, with what they've done this cycle, because they've done really well. They've brought out the hull. You could build a couple of ships and then do the first raid with it. Then you build your next ship and your next and your next, and you get better as the raid gets more difficult. And the top hull can actually auto the assets, and that's what I hope they keep that trend going because I really like that.
Well,
Yeah,
and
it's
Now that they've figured all that out.
Go ahead.
See, now that they've figured all that out and they've finally got it right, they're changing their system. We're only going to have 1 raid fleet next cycle.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I mean that's the good thing. I mean that's definitely not something to complain about that we only have to build one hull for the raid.
But what Toxic just said about the hope that it's going to be like it was this cycle. Well, it won't be like it is this cycle. Let's hope that they get the new one right. I agree. Going from 2 fleets per cycle to 1 is really going to help.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, rather than having to drive everything, even in the S set, I can auto. And I've never used a Hydra. I've never seen a Hydra target in all the last 3 raids. I only used the Buccaneer.
When we go to 1 fleet, are they going to have an auto target, or is it just going to be a driving target?
Yeah, that's why I said I'm hoping they're doing it the way they've done it this time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would respond with this. Back when we only had 1 fleets before, there were auto targets, so I don't see why that would change.
I hope not, but you never know.
Yes, Mr. Glass is half empty.
Fuck, my glass is completely empty. Let's be honest.
I'm seeing it's almost full. There's only a little bit missing. What I see on the glass there.
Okay, so as a person telling the community what to work on for the next raid cycle, because it is going to be coming up on that time where we start to think about that. The answer is hold tight, hold
run
on,
and hide.
I mean, because we don't have what's out yet.
Dragons.
Well, that's not for the next raid cycle, though.
But that's what you're talking about. What we're going to build for the next month.
Oh,
No,
okay.
he said what we were going to do for the next. He said what we were going to do for the next raid cycle, not for the next one.
And I'm aware of that. And there is nothing we can do to build for the next raid cycle right now. You're going to have to wait for that new hull to come out. And I guess this time there's some people who are actually having some luck with ironclads. So if you wanted to build the last cycle, if you haven't got the last year's raid fleet done, then maybe you could work on that. But I just don't see that if you've got the last, I don't even know, what is our next cycle? Is it
Assault?
Assault. If you've got the last assault fleet done from the last time assault was the cycle, there really is nothing you can work on until you get the new hull.
Okay. Right. And that was my question. So I would say to people to work on the Inferno Dragons, and because we're going to need to get our weekly up to par.
You see, Hellfire, I read his mind, didn't I?
Yeah, in all honesty, that's what I'm doing. I have three Inferno Dragons fully ready to going, but I don't have any. I'm working on my fourth. And how's everyone else doing? I mean,
I'm working on my fourth now.
I just started my first.
Okay.
I did not have the combination of willingness to spend coin, time, and effort on doing some of the TLCs, so I didn't get all the tokens. And I just finished up my Hydra fleet to the point where it was usable. So I've got dragons in the oven, and I'm hoping that the 20 days of dragon tokens that they're about to drop on my head are going to get me to the point that I can rank them come next week. I have a question, just to pick the panel's brain. Do you think we're going to get a flagship dragon?
Not for several months. They already said that on the forums.
Well, that's not for several months is different than never.
Yeah, I think we'll get one in a while. But yeah, I thought we were told that we're not getting one for a while.
Because I try not to build a 5-hull fleet if I know that there's a flagship in the future, even if it's a couple months away.
Yeah, I think that there is one. I mean, it's just a thought. It's because I read the forums they did say it was going to be quite some time out. I mean, they didn't give an exact. They didn't say months or what. I don't think they just said
they said it'll be several months, is what they said.
Okay, yeah. So, and I expected one sooner, but it is. That's what I read.
Well, you can substitute. You can put the was it a Savage in there, or what's that Scourge hull that gives you the reload or the defensive buff or whatnot. You can use that as a lead hull and save on a bit of damage or get some extra damage to kill it quicker or whatnot.
What's Scourge hull that gives you a defensive buff?
Against the penetrative, I can't think of it now.
And the Savage gives you a missile buff. Isn't this the Dragon a rocket hull?
Yeah. Yeah, it gives you a missile buff.
Yeah, it gives you a missile defense buff.
Defense buff.
Okay.
Sorry, yeah. Sorry, I didn't say defense.
I don't know what the Scourge one is. That's all I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah, I can't think of it. It may not give you the defense, but it gives you just a penetrative buff. I'm not sure. I have to have a look up. Looking now.
Well, the Proto Thresher has a rocket reload buff, doesn't it?
The what?
The Proto Thresher, the Thresher flagship.
Thresher flagship. What the?
Yeah, what are you talking about?
There you go. Somebody finally caught it. There's no proto thresher. I was just being silly.
Oh my. Okay.
I would, if Ross can go fishing, so can I.
Now there you go. There you go.
Sorry, it was the Grimshine, and it's on. It gives you a penetrative reload, so it doesn't give you the
Okay, gotcha.
the defense like the. I thought it'd give you the defense like the cardiac did, but it doesn't. No.
Yeah.
What else you got, Ross?
Oh, I got what's everybody gonna be looking forward to? I mean, I myself I'm gonna be working on these Inferno Dragons. What is everyone else gonna be doing the same thing? I mean, surely there's gotta be more going on.
My dragons are coming up close to being done. Then I think I'm going to start working on chameleons just because I got tokens for them, and I just want to see how much of a difference it makes in expedition payouts just for fun, you know? I mean, I'm actually probably going to have like 2 weeks where I can build just whatever I feel like building, as opposed to got to get this done for this, got to get this done for this, got to get this done for that. I think I'm actually going to have 2 weeks of shipyard time where I can do whatever the hell I want.
No, you won't.
Yeah, actually I will.
In the last 6 months, I've only had, I think, there was 3 weeks I had that I didn't have anything else to do, and I built the ghost crawler only to find that it was pointless.
You're breaking up pretty bad, Vlad.
Well, that's I'm out in the middle of
internet
nowhere
connection.
in Georgia now. Well, my internet connection is a cell connection. I'll tell you what, guys. Given the fact I'm breaking up, I'll just call it a night. It's 9 o'clock anyways. So y'all have a great evening. Thanks for having the show. Thanks for having me on, and we'll see you coming soon.
Later, Vlad. Drive safe, man.
Yeah, you bet.
See you,
Thanks
Vlad.
a lot, guys. Night.
Good seeing you again, mate. Have a good one.
Good Lord, my voice started cracking there. Sounded like I was going through puberty again.
Again.
It's
Again.
It's maybe the transition medicine.
Could be.
Oh dear.
The transition of me not doing the show anymore and you taking over the
Boom, there it is.
No, but okay, so I find the raids pretty good. I'm out of town myself, so I'm gonna be difficult. I've noticed that the targets they're still preppable, correct? I mean, for the lower members, is everybody noticing that?
Oh, you can still do the A sets, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, last month, I noticed that I just haven't looked at the targets very much this month. I know that, well, I guess they're the same. So they're really set up well for prepping, at least. You can leave a dock at the end or at the top, or I noticed I like the target, the targets themselves. So I'm happy with that. I'm sure seeing a difference in the strength of the targets. Like if you go from an 80 set to the 100 to the campaign, there sure is a heck of a lot of difference, I think. Is anybody else noticing that? I mean, have you seen anyone hitting, let's say, the Buccaneer, that 100 target?
I
did
tried it out.
I did like 2 of them just for something different to do.
Yeah.
But pretty much, if you could do that target, you could do the new target. So.
Okay.
Okay, I got a question, a serious one now. Chameleon and the Chameleon Prime. Now, the Prime is almost 10 days just for the hull, and the normal one is just over 6 or just under 6. What would you build? Let's just say you've been in the raid, you haven't built any of these, and you've gotten your 15 days of Chameleon and your 15 days of Prime. What hull would you build? the Prime or the Chameleon? Yeah. Well, so I've got
Probably
no idea.
the Prime.
Do you think the Prime's going to be enough on its own to do the expeditions? I guess that's the question.
I think it'll have just as much chance on its own as what a regular Chameleon would on its own.
Yeah, but you're going to... Toxic's asking between the two, which would you build?
The Chameleon.
And why? Okay, let's put a second question to the and why. So I can see that the Prime, even though it takes longer to build, it's quicker to repair. I can just see as I'm flipping backwards. Oh, I'm just trying to see which one. What should I do? And I think there might be other people or other players with the same conundrum. Yeah. So
Okay.
the repair time on the Chameleon is 4 hours 10, and on the Prime it's 3 hours and 20. So there's a bit of a repair difference. So that it's got a few more extra buffs, but I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing.
And stat wise, how are they lining up? I mean, is it a pretty?
Armor points 15 for the Prime, and for the Chameleon it's also 15. So yeah, obviously nobody put a great bit of thought into that yet. So that's just telling me maybe I shouldn't even try and waste my resources on it.
Don't get me wrong, I got one built, but I never use it.
Yeah.
If that counts.
You know, I just thought because I've just I redeemed it because I've got all these points, and I thought I've got to redeem crap while I can, and I took it. But what one would I build? Would I build this one? Would I build the other one?
I mean, I don't know, because I'm gonna end up with 20 days worth of Prime tokens and 20 days worth, 30 counting the ones I already had worth of regular Chameleon tokens. So I'm gonna build both. So it's not really an issue I've had to think about.
Okay.
I'm holding off to see because I'm holding off to see other people's builds. I'm just not a PvE guy. I mean, in all honesty, I think I could build a decent hull, but
see the reason I'm asking this question now is we don't get any more uranium during the raid. We don't have the fleets come out anymore, and we can't restock now. If I'm correct, you can still do the expeditions during the raid. Is that right? Or am I wrong there? So you can, if you time it right, or you can just recall the fleet, I guess, you could build one of these and you can still have your base parts. Well, if you need base parts or titanium, if you need titanium, you can bring them in, and as you need to build, like if you buy something in the raid and you want to build it real quick and you don't have the base parts, you could have one of these fleets out just in case. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, and I see their point, and I see their purpose, and I do. It's not something that I do, so I don't participate in that part of the game. So I'm not.
Same here.
Yeah.
I'll get my base parts from the 103s or whatever they are.
Right.
And but I'm out of base parts. I've built my Howie, and I haven't got a base part to my name. But if I had this, I don't know how many base parts you would get from it. You could build your second Howie, and you're already a step ahead of everybody else.
Well, just on that too, it's been really good that they've left the daily campaigns on, because at least you're getting a chest there. So there's some uranium and some base parts out there.
Yeah, that makes that fleet. I mean, you don't have to pay for all it costs you is resources. So that makes that fleet, to me anyway, it makes it viable for me to build. But if no one can give me a concrete answer of what to build, so I may have to go and sit here just a little bit longer and get both the tokens for the Chameleon and for the Prime, so that I can build one of each. Maybe that's the way to go.
Well, I think you'd need to. I think you'd probably either need to do 3 Chameleons or 1 prime and 2 chameleons at least to see what sort of score you're getting, like a fleet score, to see, you know, whether it's doable or not, I guess.
Well, I mean, don't forget though, you can also use your chameleons in conjunctions with your Zeloses, because Zeloses will also get that buff for the pullback that, you know, all generalists get. So it doesn't have to just be a tier 7 generalist.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
I'm usually reading something wrong. So you can have like a fleet of like 1 chameleon, 1 chameleon prime, and 2 Zeloses, you know, and still be bringing back extra resources through your expeditions.
That's a good point.
Yeah, so I might just sit here a bit longer and get me both of the tokens, so I can build 1 of each at least.
Well, assuming that you did the Path to the Chameleon TLC when that was out, you should already have like 10 days worth of chameleon tokens, so you could maybe even get away with just getting like the 5 1 days of the regular one, and then all the ones for the flagship. I don't know, just trying to figure out a way to save you a little bit of time if you didn't want to get all those points.
Yeah, and looky there, I did do that. I've got 10 days. That's awesome.
I want to say, I think the chameleon build comes in, the one I was looking at anyway, I think comes in at like somewhere around 17 to 18 days. Just gives you some kind of golden for.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
Here, let me ask you guys, like, the ones who are going to build the chameleons just because they're, you know, we're getting them pretty much free with tokens or whatever. Are you going to go the chain gun route, or are you going to go the UAV route?
Oh man,
good question. I mean, the way the Skyfire works in the targets, where you can auto the 83s with the Skyfire, compared to the Phoenix where you have to drive.
Well, that's all based on, that just has to do with the healing ability of the flagship, though.
Yeah, but the chaining, you know, it can kill. It just goes and chains all around and kills all sorts of crap. You may be able to auto stuff. I don't know. I've never seen a target. I've never done the expedition. So my initial thought was put the UAV on, but yeah, I don't know.
I'm probably going to go UAVs.
I don't know what takes longer to build, or is it good to have a mixed fleet? Have a couple of or have one with the cannon and one with the UAV. Would that work? Maybe?
I don't think mix would be good. I don't think it would be good, because usually UAVs are kind of like an all or nothing proposition.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Well, we'll see what the build time is, and if it's not too much different, I would prefer to go with the UAVs.
I'll probably go UAVs just because they're fun to watch.
Yeah. And I'm not sure. Can you put UAVs on the Zelos? I'm not sure now.
No, I don't think so.
no.
No.
Yeah, I don't think any of its weapon slots are for air weapons. While we're pontificating about chameleon builds, just before we finish up, chat, do you have anything you want us to talk about that we haven't touched on yet?
And the answer is no. I just checked. Yeah,
No.
There's no air weapons now.
Continue to talk amongst yourselves while I watch chat and see if anybody has anything they want us to go over.
All right.
I'd just like to say what a great show Ross has done today.
Yeah.
More of it.
Yeah.
Oh, you should have seen Thursday shows. His slides were horrendous.
Well, see, if Ross stays the boss, then he can just put other people in charge of the slides, you know.
Hey, that suits me fine. That absolutely suits me fine. I've had to do 32 sets of the damn things. I'll be more than happy if I don't ever have to do another slide.
I'm learning.
Hey,
That's
just
Well
shorten that info down a little, Ross.
Yeah, I'm learning, you know.
All right. So I'm not seeing any questions from chat, so I think we're going to call it here.
Very good.
All right.
Thanks everybody for coming out and watching. Appreciate it. And we'll talk to you next time. Yeah, Cuttlefish comes in just as we're ending the show. Great timing, Cuttlefish. Good job. So yeah, go back and watch the replay. All right. So we're out of here, and make sure you give us a thumbs up and a like and share us on your pages and whatnot. And subscribe if you haven't subscribed. And we're out. Later, guys.
Later, guys.
Thank you.
Have a good one.